Yes. All the social medias go out, and we shift to the tubes to wait for the bits. There we go. We're
Don't
live.
do it. No.
Yes.
Oh, man. You beat me. We haven't went live here in the States. Maybe we have. Oh, I'm waiting. I don't have confirmation.
Rohit says that was fast. Well, I can't say what he really said, but...
Hey, beautiful people. What's going on? We're getting ready for another Weekly Daily Wednesdays.
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Maybe, even. I don't know. It's crazy talk. Oh, we were just talking about Pedro's box is...
Yes.
All of them. Well, half of them. The other half is right there. Yeah, no. And I still have... Well... This is the box for the router, which will eventually need to be sent back to Sky. And
Yes. Hi, Jellybean. Hi, brother.
Oh,
4K box.
all right.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you with your fancy 4K boxes while the rest of the world has to deal with 3K boxes.
Look, they were the ones who printed a big ass 4K right in the front of it.
I, for one, look forward to Sky saying, "What router? We never got that back from you. Give us money."
Yeah, no, I don't care if I have to walk into one of their offices. It's like, here.
Man, I'm telling you, get a receipt, paper, make them print it out,
Yeah.
so they can accuse you of forging said receipt.
Then they're gonna have to subpoena the postal office for their records of when they issued out the receipt.
This guy's not too bad, but oof. Oof. Right.
Hi, Patrick. Mere PPC. Hi, Chipsy.
Oh, it's going with more than a send receipt. It's a send receipt. It's going to go with a tracking number. I don't know, maybe signature if need be.
Hey, all right, that showed on Amazon Rewards. Oh, all right. I guess this is going to be 6 today. Yeah, all right. Got down to 1 tonight.
Oh, boy. Oh, my
Yeah, no, it
goodness.
got slightly warmer here because it's been raining the whole damn time.
Yeah, it's actually supposed to rain here in SoCal. That's like, oh, okay. I didn't know what to do. Oh my God. I actually was able to put on a long sleeve, my long sleeve got root shirt.
Because of rain?
Well, because it got a little cooler, which is nothing. It's only like $20, $20 degrees cooler than average.
It's going to be 5 today, tomorrow, 15.
Wow.
I know it got up to 14 here today. We went out for lunch and I put on my coat, just like, oh, I didn't actually need this coat.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Steve husband boo.
Oh, hi, Steve.
Ah, yes, you found the cat image generator. Uh-oh.
I don't know. I mean, that command should only show earth-moving equipment.
Yeah, yes. That was good, Ben. I like that. Like their little mini bulldozers and stuff. My dad used to have to use those on jobs. They were always fun.
Always wanted to play with an excavator, but nobody's been dumb enough to let me try.
Aww.
And the next day, you have the Athens News Post saying, "Random crater appears overnight."
Yeah.
Killdozer all over again. Oh, I think I found a way to justify buying a laser cutter.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I could justify that. Steven and I talked about it actually.
No, they make the you can do etchings on PCBs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they already have the pre-painted boards. Just flip it, done.
Oh, hi
Ooh.
DeCresney, hi Nemo. How are you doing?
Getting ready
hi,
to talk
Nemo.
about how great Windows is.
Do we even have a Microsoft story this week?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, DeCresney, because of some of our fun stories today. Penguin Festivus.
I don't know, Chibs. I don't know if nah, man. I don't need a at any point a high-powered free roaming laser that has to be put into something.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden laser cutter comes in second to it, but I can make a lightsaber.
Oh yeah, my cup today is, yay, the Vulcan IDIC, or the Vulcan Science Academy with the IDIC logo. IDIC stands for Infinite Diversity and Infinite Combinations. I also have an IDIC necklace too, one of the ones that they made in the 70s. It was the 70s, one of the first collectibles.
That's the wrong Vulcan.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Wrong Vulcan for this show.
Yes, wrong. Well, truth be told, they named Vulcan Vulkan after Vulcan Vulcan because of Leonard Nimoy. So there's some crossover there. And he was a science officer, so he might have invented Vulcan.
That's some mental gymnastics right there, ladies and gentlemen.
No, Jill, by all means, do go on.
I can tie this together. Give me a minute.
Yes. Yes, Spock invents the Vulcan API, everyone.
You heard it here first. Well, that calls for a refill. I'll be right back.
Okay.
There you go. Get smashed and get packing. I know you're drinking booze, dude. Quit looking at me like that. Look at all these boxes.
Yeah, cool. Aw.
I don't see labels on them. That's worrying.
Yeah.
I do not like the adventure game of moving.
Yeah, nuh-uh. I had to do it in stages because of all my computer stuff. It was just insane.
Yeah.
'Cause
You get a
I'd
good
lived
point
with my
there.
parents 40 years before I moved here.
I mean, if you want to get technical, they yoinked Vulcan from vulcanization.
Yes.
So therefore, the graphic API is really based on tires.
Yes. Or it could be volcanoes.
Volcanoes. Are you not on some medication that you should be?
Mix the wrong pills with the tea there, Jill.
Oh man, I
I had to get a tire re-vulcanized once because it had a little slice that was just off to the side. It's like, oh yeah, no, we can vulcanize this, but it'll be a while. It's like, fuck. fine, I'll ride my car for a day with that stupid little wheelbarrow wheel that they
Clunk,
come with
clunk, clunk.
nowadays.
Oh, that's harsh. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, max speed is 60 kilometers an hour.
That's a suggestion, man. Come on, live a little.
That's 20-something miles an hour if you're trying to work it out in American.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 28, something like that.
Yeah.
We're about ready to go.
Okay.
I know, Google, you did something evil-er than normal, man.
Okay.
Talk about getting excited. One of the things before I go to bed, I always hit the Google News, the big G button that just brings up your Google News and what Google thinks you want to know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like introducing night mode. It's like, finally. So you just didn't get your retinas melted, and I hit it, and it enabled for a second, it went away, and it just disappeared.
Oh. Yeah.
Getting your hopes up and crushing them right there.
I was about to fall asleep. I was wide awake because I had to kick the brain back in. I was like, where'd this thing go? I need this back. Now I know it's there. Digging around in settings. No avail. It was simply not to be.
Yeah, no, Google Now is like the one thing on my phone that is very white. Very, very white. It's like, it's like 7 in the morning. It's still dark outside. Can I get something that's still, not blinding me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's cruel.
Yeah.
Discord, you do good. Discord's got a dark theme because if you've
Yes.
ever
Yeah.
used something called not dark theme, you know about it because you can't see me right now. That's a painful theme. Everyone has that experience. Oh, what's this other?
Yes.
Oh, God, ow, no.
Ow, ow, I know. I mean,
no.
they have the dark mode with YouTube, and it's annoying that they don't include it in all their other apps.
Well,
Yeah,
they have dark
in
mode,
YouTube
but
is inconsistent because if you go into certain bits
Yeah.
of YouTube, it's
It
like,
is.
oh, that's very very
then,
bright.
then it kills your eyes.
yeah. But one of the issues with apps is if you do dark mode, it stays dark. If you look at the Twitter app, dark mode has night mode. You can put it on. But when you launch the Twitter app, and if it's not just resident memory, if it's been a while and it has to open it, to a perfectly white screen with a Twitter logo.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, I have my Twitter app dark too. I get everything dark. I can make dark.
But when it launches, no matter what you have it set on, you'll get the white screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
Oh,
Twitter rolls.
yours does that?
All
Yeah,
of them
mine
do it.
doesn't.
Yeah, no, I just added the TweetDeck shortcut to my to the launcher on the tablet, and you hit it, and it's like, yep, there's the TweetDeck logo surrounded by whiteness. Go away.
Oh, okay. TweetDeck does that. Yeah, because the
Then
official
TweetDeck
app
loads
seems...
and it's dark.
yeah, because the official Twitter app doesn't do that, fortunately.
Yeah, no, that's not even a separate app. It's literally just a shortcut to Chrome.
Exactly. Shortcut.
Roku's, middle of the night. Somebody trying to send you a message, man.
Yeah, if anyone is keeping track, this is the explodey one.
Mm.
There it is. There's the TweetDeck.
Oh, okay.
Boop. There it is.
There it is.
All white.
There it is.
And then you get blue, and it loads. There we go.
Oh, boy.
I almost bought one of those the other day. They were on sale for $130.
They're a pretty good tablet for the price-performance ratio.
Mm.
Mm.
I didn't want to give NVIDIA any extra money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I gave them money for the 970, the Explodey Shield, the Shield controller, Yeah.
Oh, I could go back to how much, giving NVIDIA money. I was like, what was the card they released after the 3D effects? They bought that one from then on.
Yeah.
From AGP all the way up to...
Yeah, I had Priva TNT for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur, apparently more recently than you have. I added one of your stories.
I guess we actually have 2 of your stories, Arthur.
I don't know what that symbol is at the end of the PDF thing, but yeah, no.
What?
Yeah, Arthur and
No.
I had grabbed one that you posted a while ago in chat.
One of Artheron's suggestions, the second link on the Germany story.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah, whatever the hell that is.
Looks like a 1 dot. Oh, I think it's just formatting
Oh.
in with an
With a strike
annotation.
through. Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Oh, weird. Yeah.
It's like, no, bitmap fonts here now? No.
Control-Shift-V, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, plain text format. It will save you so many headaches.
It's really annoying because that doesn't work in Windows.
Yeah.
It works in Chrome for Windows, but if you try Control-Shift-V to paste anything in Windows, it just goes, you what now?
Man, I gotta have my plain text. That's how we get show notes from... that's how we free them from Google Docs.
Yeah.
Formax? Yeah.
Yeah, I had a GeForce 4200 Ti. It fried itself.
Let's see.
Not too dissimilarly than what the 2080 Ti's are doing nowadays. History repeating itself once again. And then I sent it back, because it was still in warranty. It was like a couple of months after I got it. They sent me a brand new one. Put it in. After a couple of months, the exact same thing happened. And they're like, okay, fine. Have one of the 5200 series, the FX series. It's like, this is crap. This is worse. The performance is terrible. At least it's not burning itself out, but it's just bad.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I have a couple of those cards floating around in some of the old computers.
How old school do we want to get? Do we want to get like PCI old school, or do we want to get AGP old school with NVIDIA?
Yes.
We can do both.
I have one of those old PCI ones.
This one's got an S video out on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to
even
ask
have
my mom to
extended
send it to
ISA
me.
video cards in here. Extended ISA.
This is
Oh, I have an
a
ISA Sound Blaster 16?
Yeah. Yeah, those are great cards.
7600 GS and a something.
Next week I'll have to get down. I have my
9500
Lwdw
GT.
collection up there.
Oh, I got those in the same drawer in here. I just like go through this
Yeah.
stuff. Let me go put these back.
Yeah, I've got the Voodoo 3 AGP 3D FX card up there, sealed in box.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh
I have
yeah,
one
with the
in
move, I got rid of all of like the boxes for all the components, except for the Ryzen processors. I'm going to find a way to get those in shot somewhere. I don't care if I have
Somewhere.
to use blue tack and put them on the wall,
Yes.
but I will. Because I will sing AMD's praises with Ryzen from the rooftops. It's like, finally, AMD.
Yes.
Wasn't so hard, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Arthern. It's the Vulcan IDIC. Actually, the Vulcan Science Academy and the IDIC logo. Infinite diversity and infinite combination. But yeah, I showed it earlier. But I'm glad you asked, because you missed it. Not that it's that exciting. so nerdy. Yes, I have my cups and my t-shirts and my swag and my computer. Like
You're a
Vince says, I
proud
have my own shop.
consumerist.
Yes, I have my own gift shop. He said during one of the foo bars.
6600 GTs, were those the bump gate ones? Oh no, it were the 8 series, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, it was the 8800 and the
For audio
the
only
85 and the
sessions?
8800.
What do you mean by that? Well, I record to a mixdown. I record multi-track in Audur. We have 6 tracks being recorded. But that comes out on the master volume through CAF Stereo Tools. It's a plugin that does a mixdown to mono, which is then transported to be recorded through Audacity, and the other transport goes out through Pulse Audio Bridge into OBS.
Video cards used to be so tiny.
Yeah. Well, no, they didn't, man. If you remember, like, some old ISA.
Well,
Yeah,
the ISA cards were big, yes.
But in the 90s, in the mid 90s when it started getting.
Yeah, PCI, PCIe, those video cards were tiny. And now they're like, oh, I think I need a bigger case because this won't fit.
Yeah.
Well, it's like looking at in that little bottom drawer in here, I just have a bunch of older cards that I didn't have cases for or anything. One of them is that Voodoo 5 5500, which is just as long as your standard like MSI Twin Frozer.
Oh yeah, the Voodoo cards were bigger. Yeah.
Also had a Molex power on the back too.
It's like, yeah, we didn't have PCIe extra power connectors back then, so Molex it'll have to be.
You weren't running a dual GPU system off the AGP bus.
No.
Well, you could, just not for very long.
That's why the power standard is 75 watts on PCIe. And like AMD learned, you really don't want to go over that.
I think you lucked out on that. I don't know. Like, part of me really wants to get like a Vega 64, but
Yeah.
it's like I'd be willing to live that nightmare, but I don't want to self-inflict it, you know?
Yeah.
I need someone to be angry at.
The Vega 64 is, you know, it's got the extra. Yeah, you need to mount that radiator somewhere.
Radiator?
Yeah, the Vega 64 are, you have two versions. You have the slightly downclocked version, which is just air.
Okay.
And the actual version, which requires a liquid cooler, which it comes with. It comes with an AIO.
That was the only one they used to have when they first came out.
Do you think for a hot damn second I would get the water cooler?
So you'd get the GIMP version is what I'm hearing.
Yes, the severely gimped Vega 64. I think
it only pulls like 250 watts instead of 300.
No. Sweet Pedro, MSI has a version. A bunch of companies have Vega 64s now. You're thinking about the FE editions.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah, the original one. But still, they're not that great.
It's like the one that came with an air cooler was a blower. It's like, oh, what's that? The video card is idling at 75 Celsius? Cool!
Yeah, I mean, even my RX 560 came with 2 6-pin connectors.
Oh, yeah. They're very power hungry.
Yeah. That's AMD.
But unlike you two, I still like AMD.
Oh, I like AMD.
I love them.
I just wish that they got their Radeon Technologies group in the same order that they got their processor group. So
you shut your filthy mouth. The totally not rebranded 590. It's a miracle
Which was a
of
rebranded
engineering.
580, which was a rebranded 480. Yes.
Cutting edge technology. And
To be fair to the 590, the die that it comes in, like the interconnect and everything else, is a newer architecture. But the GPU itself, it's still a GTX 480. An RX 480, sorry.
I just need that 2080 to come down in price. No, I don't even want a 2080. I want a 2070. That's like the good $400.
Yeah,
spot
2070
right there.
beats the 1080 by a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, margin of error, but
Yeah.
then again, we were talking about if that 2060 comes out. If they could get that thing, it's not going to be wicked cheap enough for me to just buy it for the video encoder, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
We need like the 2050s and the 2050 Ti is like a completely PCIe powered 970. Like they failed to do with the 1050.
man, that 1050 was made for OEMs. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, a laptop needs a dedicated GPU. There you go, 1050.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you get one of those in the computer that you buy from like Office Depot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I put this in my gaming rig and it has horrible performance. You think?
Yeah. Lots
Or,
of entry
yeah,
level
you get-
gaming laptops too.
Yeah, you get you get a cheap desktop PC off eBay, like an Optiplex, and you get one of those teeny tiny low profile 1050s, and look, it's a gaming machine now.
Like after doing some digging around, like if you have $200 to burn and you spend a little bit of time on eBay and you have access to eBay, 980 Ti's all day long for about $250.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a 6 gig card that is still holding up there.
Oh yeah, it's giving the 1080 a run for its money.
Well, that's
the
what
2080,
I'm not
sorry.
saying that is like, the 980 series is Maxwell. No, it's sad. It still does when you just start stacking the benches and like, geez.
Yeah, actual real world use, the 980 Ti is about as powerful as you need it. It plays 4K games. And yeah, no, it's actually a very, very good GPU.
Apparently Mira was looking for something.
You found a
Cool.
920?
I don't know. It looks like a webcam.
Yeah, it's a C920. I have one of those pointed at my face right now.
Yeah, I do too. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we're using. Good, Patrick. You finally, or Mir, you finally got one. You've been wanting one for a while.
Even if Chrome can only do 960 by 720, but I'll take it.
Take what you can get. It's better than my parallel port quick cam VC B&W, man.
Oh yeah,
Egg
I had one of
cam.
the.
Dial up.
Yeah,
See you
I
see
still
me.
have my Logitech
Mhm.
Logitech one. Yeah, parallel port.
Oh, I had like a teeny tiny spy cam. It came branded with the Spy Kids 2 logo on the back. That could also double as a webcam. That was bad.
Cried when you lost it. What are you talking about?
Oh, I didn't lose it. I know exactly where it is. I can tell my mom, you go to that drawer. And, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm eventually going to swap this thing out with the camcorder because I need something to record some different projects.
I, too, am looking at that one that people use to make Damon 9.
Yeah. It's on our wish zone if you're looking for a Venn researched camcorder. It's like, what's the absolute cheapest you can get away with?
Yeah.
Go to our wish list. You'll find a lot of items looking to purchase thing.
It's like 100 and something pounds, so
Yeah.
yeah.
1080p 60, and most importantly, it does clean HDMI out, which means it doesn't have all that garbage on the screen when you're doing an HDMI output live.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ready to do a show?
It was the Canon
Yes.
Vixia, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Vixia.
Yep.
Vixia.
They They were like $199. Now they're like $160. They're not going to get more expensive because everyone's like, we need to do UHD. No, you don't.
We need 4K. That's 1080p 60. 4K. Tesco's had a few cameras on sale for Cyber Monday. It's like, oh, it can do 1080p 60 for £300. You call that a sale? What do you want, Tesco?
Man, I had a nightmare yesterday. You saw me being furious on Twitter about transferring money through international banking.
Yes. I saw that one.
I saw that, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of glad that my Portuguese bank has the online thing that it does, because like, oh, I can do everything from here. Neat.
Nice.
Well, HBC, you can die in a fire.
Hey, I have an account with HSBC.
I had an account with them until yesterday. I no longer have any currency in sterling right now. It is all in euros in Germany.
Okay.
We got in a little tiff. So that account.
Yeah, we went with HSBC because they were like, yeah, you need like a proof of address and a proof of employment. That's it. Mm-hmm. When we went to Lloyd's and they said, yeah, you need this and you need this and you need that and you need the other one. It's
we need your friend's roommate social. And, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. We need a reference. We need. It was insane. It's like, no, no. We're just going to go somewhere else.
I was just trying to transfer money to them.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they wouldn't give me a BIC number. If you don't know what a BIC number is, think yourself. It's kind of like a routing
the big number.
Right.
The international bank thingy.
And they're like, no, you should be able to use this with your account number with the first 3 digits of your route. And I'm like, just give me your... I need the one for your bank. And they wouldn't. They're like, we don't have it. And I couldn't find it online. So I was like, you know what?
Sometimes they're just deliberately dumb, and if you say it's the Swift number, they'll go, oh, that.
They said it was a combination of Swift with the account and the country code for that was like 22, which isn't the UK. I even knew that off the top of my head. It's 21.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't even use this account. Boom. You know, then you think about Brexit rolling out. I'm like, it might be a good idea.
Yeah, no, euros is kind of where you want to be.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to just have everything in euros right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I guess.
They have an IBAN code, Mir. You just need to ask really hard for it, because they wouldn't want to give me the IBAN code for my UK bank account. It's like, can we just stop and you give me the IBAN code? Because I can be here all afternoon. You probably have more people you need to see, but I can be here all afternoon. So, chop.
Jill, as a resident North American, do you follow anything we're talking about right now?
Yeah, I haven't had experience with it, but I know people who have, like yourself, and because most of my trading internationally has been through Amazon and eBay, and so it's all done for you. And PayPal, I love PayPal. It just does it for you. So
I would use PayPal or anything like that. We have our Amazon affiliate accounts with, way back when in the old times, they would just transfer from the UK and the EU directly into our business account, which is in North America, United States.
Oh,
then they're like, you know what? Yeah, that's did some market research, Finn. Found out way too convenient. Way too convenient.
Oh no, they got rid of it. Yeah, I've heard from other people that it's just horrible now from the US.
Well, you just do it. Well, I mean, fortunately, I had an account in Germany and an account in UK, but still, I was like, But yeah, they did that. It'd be nice if you could just. I could get gift cards and send them to Pedro. Do you want 25-pound gift cards from Amazon? It's mostly your own money anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I am going to need a lot of teeny tiny furniture things, so yeah.
Oh man. All right. We're gonna do a show. So I'll be back in roughly 2 minutes. That's how long it takes to make some molecules shake violently. There's heat.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your water.
Sorry. I mean, I have an electric kettle, but it tests my patience.
Yeah. That's what Steven uses. He likes his electric kettle.
Maybe if it had
we have a kettle.
Because I'll put
We've
my
gone
kettle
proper
on.
native.
I will put my kettle on, start to wait it out, then get bored and go do something. 10 minutes later, I come back to a completely evaporated kettle. You know, it's like,
Yeah,
right.
and the squeal. Yeah.
No squeal. Oh, no. I'm not a hipster. Come on. I don't ride my fixer indoors.
Strider.
My husband has a few times forgotten, and it starts getting really loud, and I had to go turn it off a few times.
Yeah, no, ours just has a very satisfying chunk when it's done. It's yes, very good. I wanted to get one with the LEDs because I know that some of them, when you push like the thing down, it's got an LED that comes on. It's like, ooh, that's so shiny. I want one.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve husband, I corrected myself. We have a gas stove, not electrical. In fact, nothing in our house is electrical, just about, except for the power to the dryer. But otherwise, things are gas here.
Yeah, no, everything in here is electrical. Everything in the other place is electrical. So
yeah, apartments, they do that.
Yeah. Which is not too bad, considering we pay, what, £30 a month of electric? That's pretty good.
Oh, that's pretty good. You just kind of have one base price.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's not a base price, but that's usually about what we spend.
Okay.
If we were going to be spending the winter here, it would be much pricier than that. I remember last December, it was like 200 and something pounds for the electric. It's like, that's a bit much.
Yeah, yes.
Admittedly, it's a 3-month thing, so it was October, November, and December. It's like, yeah, no, that's a bit much.
Yeah, we still have all the old 1950s stuff that came with the house. It's all been updated, but we still have a gas-fired heater and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. But they all work great, and it takes up very little energy and very little money. Actually, if it was electrical, the bill would be higher.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's still cheap here in the U.S. is gas.
I know gas in Portugal is pretty cheap. Over here, I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I haven't had gas.
Yeah.
And will not have gas in the new place, so yeah. I know fuel for, if you have a car, fuel is about the same as it is in Portugal, which is massively overpriced when compared to like the US.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, all the cars run on at least 85 octane gas, and if you want premium, that's 91, and that's it. No, sorry, 98. 98 is premium, yeah. So you're paying about €1.50 per liter. If you're trying to work that out in American, an American gallon is 3.3 liters.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $4.50 per gallon-ish.
Yeah, that is it in the summer it gets to be $5 here because they gouge us on the East Coast and West Coast, but it's still not as high as that.
I thought $5 a gallon for fuel in the U.S. was like the end times that come.
$5? It's $2.80.
Oh no. Yeah, no, we've had it up to $6.
It's because you live in California, man.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, Vader, the gouge. But our average is about $3.50. It's around $3.50.
It's like a cover fee. I mean, they want you to pay an extra tax so you can experience, you get the free benefits, the added wildfires and earthquakes.
Yeah.
Those things aren't free. It hasn't been $3 here, and I don't remember the last time.
Yeah, it always goes up to at least $5 at the summertime, and then I think it's around $3.54 right now.
Except for premium.
Yeah, no, in Portugal you want premium, you're paying €1.70 per liter.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit, but...
Yeah, having to drive on an island.
That's the thing. You'd think that the UK, with being an island, that the infrastructure would be designed to accommodate, not having to drive everywhere. It isn't.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
True that. True that.
Doug Stanhope I'm not going to repeat the bit in its entirety, but like, man, there was a time when all of the road infrastructure got destroyed. You could rebuild them correctly. It's like, nope. Let's rebuild them back in their crooked, messed up way. I don't know. I mean, you got the M4, the M2. I mean,
yeah, and like there's like the A1 through 40 something. They connect all the major cities together. It's just when you get to those city intersections, yeah, if you're on the left lane wanting to get out of the highway, nope.
Yeah, my brother said he pays $4 by his house. So we're a little unique because we have a refinery right here that produces the summer oil, most of the summer oil for LA. In fact, that's the facility that exploded not too long ago. But as a result of that, our gas prices change rapidly because we're right by the plant.
I mean, all the fuel comes into the European Union mostly through Portugal, and it's still stupidly expensive to refuel your car there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a show.
Okay.
Yes.
Linux Gas Cast. Good, Arthur. And I don't even drive, but I care.
I do my part to pollute.
I do Lyft and Uber, so. And Steve husband.
And get rid of your system. Don't have to worry about it. I got a mute button. And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we sit back, take that midweek break, and talk about all the fun, non-Thanksgiving, but unfortunately holiday-themed things coming up, because that's something we got to talk about. Some weird, fun gifts. I'm Vince Stone. That's Joe Bryan. That's Pedro Mateus. And by your powers combined, we're here after a very long pre-show discussing petrol and international bank routing. Ooh, fun times indeed. What's going on, Jill? You've been busy with the scale 17.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's going to be every week up until the event. And what we did this week was fun. The Linux Chicks LA, we're planning a really fun Raspberry Pi project for a booth at Scale 17X. So I'm very excited about it, but I'm not going to announce what it is till later. It'll be a lot of fun, and all the people from LGC joining us will have a lot of fun. And also been having fun preparing for our Dungeons and Dragons RPG dungeon crawler that on Jordan Stream starting this Thursday, which is tomorrow. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We did that last night. We started working on it. Yay!
Yeah, no. Over here, well, it's kind of cathartic when you look into your when you look at your life. You get a chance to take a step back and look at your life and realize that it fits into some cardboard boxes. Like,
yes,
look at them.
Wow.
It's like, oh, that's my life right there. Huh. Okay. So yeah, the move is coming. It's Saturday is the big day. It's when we're going to haul all of that plus these boxes over here. They're just all gonna go to the new place. Fun times.
Fun times indeed. Not a whole lot to report over here. I did beat Wolfenstein 2, Part 2, the sequel. I finally got through that. That was like a 9-hour experience. And what I can only express is, imagine if this game, if at the end of this game it said directed by Quentin Tarantino, I went, yeah. Some genuine jaw-dropping moments. It's like,
Wow.
I can't believe you got away with putting that in a video game, which is a whole other level of, like, you expect quite a bit of just what in a video game. And yeah, it got two very distinct, like, what? Okay. I'll just have to accept this. So I had a good time with that. That was worth whatever I paid for it. But good job, team, despite being published by Bethesda, because I know that was probably not fun to work with. All right, so let's get off to a super elite hacker interface.
Oh, yes. Look at it.
Yay. Oh.
It's thing Edex UI, man, a science fiction terminal emulator designed for large touchscreens that run all major OSs. Man, Pedro, that smells like Electron.
Yes, yes, it does, and they even, in fact, say so. The reason it has a lowercase e right at the start is for Electron. I mean, they already did Electron and everything else. Why not do a desktop environment, the terminal emulator type of situation? Might as well.
I actually really, really love this. This was so much fun. And, you know, it's really cool because the interface is a combination of an extremely useful terminal as well as a file manager with HTOP stats. And it's really cool. So it's nice to have an application like this that's just for fun, but it actually is functional. Unlike the Hollywood Hacker terminal interface, which is in the show notes. But that one is just for show and not as functional. But that one has some fun things about it too, like it plays music and has the Matrix theme.
I also forgot to mention, like right at the beginning of the show, absolutely no one tweet us during the show.
Yes.
Do not. Just fair warning.
Yes.
I'll let everyone know. I tried it. It's available as it's got a 32-bit and a 64-bit. I launched it on the 1804 box. App image. Took a minute to load. Took so much of a minute to load. I was kind of doing something else when my primary display went. It's like, whoa, oh, right. We were working on that. I just kind of assumed it noped, and I was going to open a terminal up later and just see where it noped. It's not horrible. I mean, it's borderline functional. It gives you your disk, network, RAM, storage. At a glance, it's got a built-in keyboard because it's made in for a touch interface. I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Like a very practical utility, if you're anything like me, to have it up and running as the only interface for the cable installer or anybody that has to use your computer.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was, I tried it on the ThinkPad X240, and I heard the fan kicking up even before it showed up. It's like, what's happening? What's going on? Is this like a coin miner in disguise? And when it first started up,
playing chess.
Yeah, it first started up, and I look at the CPU utilization graphic, and it's like, oh, okay, we're almost at 100% here. All right, cool. Yeah. Over here, though, on this box, it was like, oh yeah, it's using like 3% on all the threads of the Ryzen processor. Yeah, give me more. So yeah. There's something going on there. They do say, if you do decide to try this out and maybe like do a video for the YouTubes and whatnot, don't type any passwords, because as you're typing, the little keyboard down on the lower right, it lights up with your keystrokes. So don't type passwords if you're doing a video.
Do it. 100%. But don't type in the right things, man. Some people in chases, they're like, oh, I got it. And you know they wasted their time. But they won't admit it. They'll never come back in the comments and be like, man, I tried. But ha ha. Okay, Fedora's up next.
Oh, yes. So one of the Fedora developers, Paul Frields, was... he made a post about the lifecycle objective, the problems, the solutions, and the proposal that he has. So basically, Fedora, as it currently stands, their release structure has been in place for over a decade. It's the 6 months release, and then you after 3 months or so after the after a threat of doom. But yeah, after for about 3 months after the release of a given Fedora version, you still get support, but then you will need to upgrade to the next one, or you wait another couple of months and you'll see the brand new version come out. And in order to get everything on the back end retooled and working properly, he's suggesting that Fedora move to a yearly release cycle, or at least for this one version. They're going to stop at Fedora 19, get everything done, and then F30 will come out a year afterwards. So that seems to be a very good idea. From where I'm standing, there's already so much overlap going on between two contiguous versions of Fedora. Like if you've had Fedora 28 and now you have Fedora 29, chances are the kernel is probably the same. A lot of the tools are in the same versions. There's not a whole lot of difference, at least for that amount of time that the two releases are still being actively supported. So it makes sense. And I do hope that they decide to do that, not just for the Fedora 30 release, but going forward as well. That just seems like a good idea.
No, Pedro, this is clearly a byproduct of IBM purchasing Red Hat and Fedora's doom.
You know, I did suggest that maybe with IBM and their focus on enterprise environments, that maybe Fedora having an LTS version wouldn't be such a bad thing. This looks like a step in the right direction.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Fedora having an LTS version, just see, I don't want to live in that world, man. I don't. That's so wrong.
Yeah. So I thought this was really a smart decision because it gives the developers more time for tooling changes, testing, and bug fixes that will overall improve Fedora's reliability. So it's a really good move. Mm-hmm. And you know, gives them a lot of time to fix all the things.
Yeah, actually get the work that needs to be done on the back end, and then release a yearly version. It's like, okay, it's Fedora 31, released in 2020. There we go.
Nope. Clearly interference by IBM getting ready to destroy Fedora. And it's kind of interesting. I completely get the logic behind it too. Be able to take a step back, retool everything, make things more efficient. I mean, something has to give in that scenario.
Yes.
And it seems very logical. And I like how it was covered in the message. It's like, just tone down on the doom here. I mean, this has to be done. So chill out. Don't let it spiral into a thread of what I was joking about with IBM. But some people are going to do it anyway. So we got some news from LibreOffice, and it's not the municipality of Tyrrhenia, because that would be too cool of a place to live in.
No, it's not Tyrrhenia, it's Tirana. And it's in Albania, which they're moving... They're trying, or at least trying, to move all of their government infrastructure to open source software. And of course, they're starting with your Office suite, as it were. So they're introducing the Document Foundation as proud to announce that the municipality of Tirana is now working with LibreOffice, and they're basically the end goal here is to migrate all of the government facilities to LibreOffice to get everyone standardized on free and open source software, which is a very good idea, especially when you have a country like Albania that is now finally starting to catch up with the rest of the world to not have to worry about spending money on licensing. That's just a good idea.
Yes, definitely. And you know what really struck me about this article is just that, what you were saying, Pedro. This is actually really amazing that they're going open source, considering that Albania was once one of the most isolated countries in the world, and up to the revolution from communism, which was in 1991. So they're still growing and enjoying living in the modern age. And that's just, it was really amazing. I'd done a lot of research on Albania years ago, and I remember it was hard to find information on Albania because it was so isolated, and that
it was no North Korea, but it came close.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good news. I mean, the majority of the 1,000 desktops, municipality, they've already been migrated to LibreOffice. That's a good thing. They started with HR because, man, if you need a hive of Office docs and spreadsheets, that's a good place to start.
Yes.
Good work on that. The LibreOffice Writer and Calc manuals have all been translated into Albanian.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
good on that. And like my personal thought on all this is like, all governmental entities should use or be forced to use open source software. I mean, just to maintain the ability to future-proof it 100, 200, 300 years down the road, you're going to be able to have access to it. And it seems like the only people radically against that are the people selling software that is not open source.
Microsoft?
I don't know. I have the inkling that there might be a connection. I'm not 100% on it, though. Not 100%.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But, making light of this situation, it seems rather ironic that a country that just shook away communism is deciding to embrace communist software practices like open source and free software. Hi there, Steve Ballmer. How you doing?
Listen, we don't need... I understand it's basic humanities. Like, let's inject politics into what? Spin the wheel. Software. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. And people will go there anyway. That's good on them. Definitely good on them. We have good news for people that might have a little issue with Blinky GIFs.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome. This is a Chrome extension to view GIFs safely without the risk of having an epileptic seizure. And that's always a good thing. We've experienced that also on Discord. It would be nice to have this on Discord as well, but we can right click. But anyways, this is really cool because it slows down all GIF files to 3 frames per second and works really, really well. I tested it on Chrome and Chromium and Vivaldi, and the extension worked very well. And I've actually just been really surprised, especially in today's day of inclusive and accessible web design and the laws pertaining to that by the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines and the American with Disability Act, that there weren't features like this sooner. I mean, these laws they're really coming down on these laws for accessibility. So that kind of needs to change in our code.
I was kind of with you with, wait a minute, this didn't exist. I really like the backstory of this. His girlfriend had an issue with a photosensitive epilepsy, and that's exactly what you would think about it. Blinky lights, short circuit. And he was going through Twitter, and he found an article about how GIFs can induce that. So that's the genesis of this. And I was like, good on you, mate, for making that a thing. As you said, it's a Chrome extension. You can throw it in there, and I mean, it's going to analyze the GIF. And you found out that there's a couple of levels you can do this to make it 100%, but like the AAA standard is wicked expensive in terms of CPU cycles. But this is kind of working in a good enough capacity. Yeah. And, neat.
It's awesome. I mean, I was really happy too, because I'm going to be, using this extension on all my browsers because I have vision issues. I have photosensitivity as well. So this is great, actually.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. It's like, how was this not a thing? Seriously.
I know.
Now all we need is a plugin that completely rips out any auto-playing videos, period.
Oh, yeah. Call it the ZDNet plugin.
Yeah, we need this in Discord as well. A permanent. No, I'm kidding.
Well, what we need a little bit less of is people finding or coding backdoors into stuff, especially stuff that is widely used by products developed by big companies that just about everyone has access to. So this one was the news comes from Ars Technica, and it's the flat map stream, which is available through NPM, which had a two-part backdoor built into it. Basically, what it does is the first one just set up the way, and no one saw, like, none of the moderators, none of the code revisionists. Yeah.
Did you just non-ironically say "Doway"?
Yes.
Just checking. Sorry.
DOA.
Do you know the way? But yeah, the first one paved the way. There it is again. To basically introducing the payload, which came in update 2. And yeah, basically what it does is it targets a very specific cryptocurrency wallet that it was developed by a very specific company. And that's all it as far as anyone is able to tell, that's all it does. And how it got up there, well, that got me thinking. This isn't the first time we've heard about NPM being used as like a poisoned repository for distributing malware. And it seems to be, this is at least the third time that I know of that NPM has been compromised at a repository level. So this is setting a really bad precedent. It's like NPM being the repository for malware? Really?
I'm not going to blame NPM.
Yeah.
What I'm definitely going to do is tell everyone what you already know is you can't rely on random just developers to vet your code for you if you're going to be running that in production.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if it's NPM or anything. And if you're listening and you're wondering, oh no, and you're terrified because Pedro did not tell you which wallet, that would be the wallet developed by Copay. And they have fixed it, but they just, Copay said, just assume your private keys are affected, dump them, and respool that business.
Yeah, the big issue here was that the NPM people went silent when the community discussion started brewing about this issue. They went quiet for 6 days, and then they finally said, "Yeah, that's been compromised."
It is also one of the things developer, what got compromised was the flat map stream, and the maintainer walked in and said, listen, I have not maintained this thing for like 6 months, so I don't know why you guys are blowing me up about it.
Yeah.
To his point, fair
exactly.
enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're still hosting something that is basically abandonware at that point, you need to put it in like a, I don't know, read-only mode so people can only download it, not upload stuff to it.
No. More adventure, man. More adventure.
Seriously, come on.
Yeah. So another thing they mentioned in this article was that the Chaos Computer Club in Germany, along with the members of OpenWRT, recommended that all routers should come with an expiration date for the firmware that must be visible to users before they purchase the device. Of course, should be common sense. And they also recommend, after the vendor stops supporting a model's firmware, vendors should allow users to install custom firmware like OpenWRT on abandoned and end-of-life devices. This all makes sense. We should be able to secure our routers ourselves. And a lot of people in Germany want to be able to do that, and you need to be allow that flexibility.
All right, Pedro,
that was a bit of a jarring jump there, Jill.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking about the NPM issue, and then you immediately jumped to halfway down the story about the router.
Oh my god! I just messed up. I'm so sorry.
You gotta look at it this way.
Okay, did I just pass out for like a few seconds?
Oh
what happened?
What happened? I don't know what happened.
That was the thing. It was like, I guess I don't have to read that story.
I'm sorry. Okay. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing.
So we got to look at a couple of things. Along with that, admittedly, Germany's come up with some really dumb tech laws. All right.
Yes.
They have 100%. not my fault, but I was like, yeah, I agree. Pedro, this isn't one of them, man. I mean,
No.
every time I see something like this, because we don't think about our route, we think of, especially people of our vintage, when we think about routers, we think of a particularly dumb device that you can't do much with. This is not the case anymore. I mean, you're dealing with something with usually several hundred megs of RAM, dual core processors, and a gang of flash on. When was the last time you checked the firmware version on your router?
Yeah, I usually only check it when I see, oh, it's gone down. What happened? Oh, it was a firmware update. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. And, I'm absolutely with you. It's like, oh, these are actually sensible minimum effort stuff that would have a very significant impact on how security is handled for your common household. Having this set from day one, in the less tech savvy branch of your family is just a very good way to stop a lot of the most common exploits from getting into their network. Yeah. So it's just a good idea.
I think at the end of the day, this just reads like a list of common sense, but good luck getting it implemented anywhere outside of Germany. And I do want to make a point. ZDNet, you forgot to include an autoplay video. What's wrong, man? My heart, it breaks.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, there was no random sound coming through that Firefox tab as I opened it.
I've had to create custom rules for ZDNet, and I didn't see it attempt to play a video and jerk around in a seizure, doing its best to give me a semi-unrelated video as it does, and it didn't do it. And I said, something wrong. So I had to go check. And I was like, maybe. Huh. Well, all right.
Yeah. And also, this
and Jill's bit you already heard. She jumped again on that one.
So I apologize. Oh my gosh, I've never done that before. So I apologize. But this also may not stop manufacturers from putting the security compliant stickers on non-compliant hardware, because sometimes they do that when they're not supposed to.
I mean, if this gets adopted into law or as close to it as it can get in Germany, then they're looking at a very serious European court case against them. It's kind of like the 80 plus certification on power supplies. You really don't want to put that sticker there unless you really have that certification, because otherwise you're going to get fined all over.
This is true, and I know a lot of people are sitting back, you're screaming. I can hear you right now. What about DDWRT? And you can't get that on all routers, unfortunately. No. You should be able to, but you can't.
Yeah, no, in the perfect world, we would have complete access to all of our in-home devices to do the changes we want to do. One of the big complaints I have for this particular Sky router is, let me change the DNS server, Sky.
Oh,
that would be nice.
Well, that's, I actually, all right, for the common user, like, what you give the average person that says, I need a cup of internet, give them something locked down. I get that. That's like giving grandpa a Linux box and no root password. I get it. Okay. But sometimes it's ridiculous. Like, I have a Buffalo router. I had to make a JTAG in order to get WRT installed on it. That's usually, that's like a little bit above your average, trouble.
Yeah, no, JTagging a Buffalo router. Okay.
Hey, man, listen, it became a matter of principle. And I was pretty sure it was going to break. It didn't break, but I was like, all right, tis the season.
Yay! This is
I guess,
Penguin Festivus.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is the Linux Journal presents 12 holiday gifts under $59 for your Linux loved ones. And I have several of these gifts in this room.
Tux needs a petty.
Yeah, no, Tux needs some socks.
Did they look for, they look for like horror penguin feet? Because I don't know what's going on there. That is like...
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, I have the emu claws, and I'm a penguin.
So let's talk about some of the things that we got going on.
Yes.
Because really, the only reason we put this in there so we can judge them. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Starting with a Raspberry Pi Model 8 Plus.
Got one. I got one.
Or do
I
you
don't
want
have the box
Yes.
because I already stashed it away, but I
25
have
bucks?
one.
Hey man, I think Pies are basically as effective as cash. You can always find a use for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you got a Linux server in your life, pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Now, Jill, you would know more about this.
Yes, and these are from UnixStickers.com, and they're offering the Pro Pack of 10 stickers for just $1 for plus free shipping, and that's really cool. They've had
Worldwide
this
free
for-
shipping?
Yeah, worldwide free shipping.
Oh, I think I might need some
And-
stickers then.
Yes, Pedro, you need to get some. And the Elite Pack is of 20 stickers is only $19, and the Ultimate Pack of 30 stickers is only $24. And I have many of these stickers on this cabinet back here, which you can't see. There's actually several hundred stickers on it from Scale, and all our stickers from Scale are made by Unix Stickers. So this
Yeah,
is
I
pretty
have a
cool.
bunch that Mir sent. I think he used stickers
Yeah.
as a packing material for the camera. So I have a
Yes.
bunch of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome. We always get lots of good swag from sticker
Next,
swag.
we have
Mhm.
maybe for the more discerning individual, the tough tux cufflinks.
Yes.
Earrings and bracelets are included. All right. The cufflinks, maybe, because I wear French cuffs. So I have a bunch of cufflinks, but I think I'm the only person in North America that still does that.
Yes.
So earrings, I've only had one earring left. So I don't know. Probably not that. Bracelets, I destroy bracelets like I would watches.
Yeah, no, I have a wristwatch, no bracelets. But I was just looking at the design of that. It's like, it would have been so much nicer if it would have been, it's like, yeah, the cufflinks are like a silvery metal, and then you'd have a black background rather than the white, and the Tux logo, instead of being the full color one, you just have the same silvery material that you use for the cufflinks themselves sticking out from the black. That would look so much nicer.
So sweet.
I normally
So
wear my
sad.
Rick and Morty cufflinks, man. So
Okay, Rick and Morty, I sort of get that. It's a very colorful show. That would look better in monochrome. Just saying.
that's the type of thing you buy somebody. So and they're like, "Hey, I own cufflinks." That's the end of that sentence. Period.
Yeah.
All right, plushies.
Yes. So also on the list is Za Reason Text Penguin, which you can purchase for just $19. And it is so cute and fluffy, and it's actually right here in my room, and I'm pointing to it right now. And in fact, I had just put my penguin there last week. It's actually right there, but you can only see it in the big view. But that's the cheapest text penguin in that size you can get. Za Reason also makes wonderful Linux computers and laptops, and they have an awesome penguin backlit keyboard that is now on sale for $25. It used to be $50, so it's a deal. And
that was a significant sale if they didn't charge up the wazoo for UK shipping. But I got that keyboard.
But yeah, I have a lot of their items because they're donators to Linux Chicks LA. In fact, they've given us some of their items to raffle off at our booth, including the penguin.
It's good to know that you've been bought.
Yeah, we know who not to talk about when Jill's around. Okay.
This next one is Stallman approved. It lacks katanas, but a stuff GNU, because you need some GNU with your Linux, or Stallman will jump through your window brandishing his flaming katanas and take you out, as he does. A height of 7.5, I'm guessing that's freedom units, inches.
Yeah.
And a price of $25. Listen, You better make sure it's a BSD Linux floss-loving person, or they're going to be particularly cross with you buying a
Yes.
somewhat arguably fugly stuffed animal. And they're like, what the expletive deleted is this supposed to be?
Yeah, just like, what animal is this?
Aw.
It looks like a rat got a little too frisky with a dog at one point.
It looks a bit
Yeah.
diseased.
Yeah.
We're going to cut through these. Librem keys. We talked about this on the show like 2 weeks ago. Those things are cheap,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah. Store all of your encryption keys in a single USB stick. That's it. That's what it does.
good idea. And something Pedro and myself
Ah.
probably
Oh,
don't know
yes.
anything about.
Oh, yes.
That would be gaming. I mean, there's no games on
Oh,
Linux.
yeah.
That's why we use it.
No.
Yes.
We're productive.
Yeah. The Steam gift cards are just a good idea. If anyone you know in your life likes to play video games and they are a PC gamer, just get them a Steve gift card.
Well, Steve has bought me those for Christmas before.
You know, I'm normally completely against gift cards, but you know the right person that you're going to get that
Yeah.
for. They'll use it. They'll be happy with it. But make sure that they want a $50 game and give them a 21. Give them two 21s, but hide one of them in the box. Make them work for it a little bit. Evil mad scientist, Mega Menorah 9. All right. I'm sure I named this.
Yeah, either you or Jordan were involved in the naming of this one.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
clearly from our 9000 series products at LGC. One can let their nerd flag fly with this LED Hanukkah menorah. Besides this USB menorah, is that it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you can get
Yep.
them in different sizes, including a one that's as tall as I am, 6'1".
So
That's
cool.
I mean, it's they have the Adafruit Pro trinket, some other things, but I want that thing to be like Ark of the Covenant, Indiana Jones, just like shock you and melt your face off if you touched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a USB menorah that you can hack into and basically do whatever you want with it.
Badge stickers.
Yes.
Is that still
Yeah.
a thing?
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, for under $2, you can get your choice of whatever distro you want. Computer badge
I was
stickers.
about to say,
These
Jill,
nice-
that doesn't say Arch, so it's wrong.
Yeah, yeah, Debian. But you can get these on Etsy, and they have them on eBay as well as Amazon. And I have one of these on every one of my cases, and displaying all the different distros that I use. So
I
love
have,
those.
I know Jill likes rare things. I have one directly from AMD. It's not a Linux sticker, but it's an AMD case badge of Superman opening his
Oh.
Clark Kent with the AMD print on it. They were giving those
Yes,
out.
yeah,
That's something.
that's cool.
I don't do that. I don't have it. I'm anti. I guess I'm just anti everything, Pedro. Rawr.
Yeah, I take the
Bummer.
stickers off of laptops because they tend to accumulate all the grime and this dead skin off your hands. Yeah, just get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand a case badge.
Yeah, if it's a case and you're not touching it, yeah, by all means, put some
If I
stickers on it.
can find a Hannah Montana distro case badge, I'll use it.
Yes.
Probably make a custom one.
Maybe we can
But
make
yeah.
it happen. All right.
There's also
Yeah.
the Linux Journal subscription. If, again, you
Yes.
have something that's really into Linux and they like to read the Linux Journal, by all means, give them a subscription for that. There's a random Toshiba portable external hard drive that is Linux compatible. It's
Hey.
a USB hard drive.
You got to watch out. Sometimes USB hard drives are not Linux compatible? Question.
That hasn't been the case since 2001.
This thing better have an affiliate link. It doesn't even have an affiliate link. What are you doing,
No.
website?
No.
It's like, okay, I get the use. It's an external hard drive, but did really?
$49.99. All right, that's a thing, and a cheat sheet T-shirt.
The XKCD cheat sheet.
This is
t-shirt.
awesome.
$19, reasonably
Yep.
priced.
Yeah.
Yes, it's upside down, so you can read it as you look down.
Yeah. And
Just do what I
have
do.
mine
I just
got-
get sexy and take it
got root.
off.
Yeah, this shirt I have on was from ThinkGeek years ago. They don't even sell their Linux shirts anymore. But that's how they started. But you can get these on on Amazon and eBay and whatnot. So got root shirts everywhere.
I think pretty cool. I have 2 of their Linux ties. I guess they probably still sell them.
Yeah.
A red and blue one.
Yeah, I think the ties they still do have.
Right on. So you can get that for your Linux loving miscreant in your life, or confuse friends and family with these bizarre moon gifts that they have no idea why they've received.
Yeah, or tell them this is what you want for Christmas.
I know what you want better than you do.
It's like white elephant gifts, man. What do I do with this? I don't know. Hey, we're coming dangerously close to having our own t-shirts. I'm getting a little worried.
Yes.
Very, very
close. Like terrifyingly close. We got a bunch of people, some of the coolest people on the internet making this show possible. They're the lovely ones over at Patreon. Got a few extra shekels to carry away. Hey, we don't do ads. We just like to thank people. And a bunch of ways to do that. I want to give a shout out to everybody, because you've been blowing us up on those Amazon affiliate links. You click on that, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, thank you, Pedro. Pedro buys the links.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. We've been, I've been using that a lot lately.
Amazon wish list, a couple of things, hardware for the studio. If you're like, screw that, I just want to get you something, know what you get. You end up on Frank's wall in the credits. It's kind of brilliant and humble. Humble is, we give most of that charity, and that's how we have the split. But we get a couple of coins from that if you're going to be buying games from Humble Bundle or anything like that. But back to what I was talking about. This is what I'm worried about. This is what I'm worried about.
Yay.
The 115 beautiful party patrons at 267. That's $7 over our goal of merchandisers. This has been our unicorn goal forever. To do the runs of shirts, posters, novelty mirrors, and possibly flamethrowers. I don't know. I think Elon might have beat us to that. But that's the best way to help us out with this. Let's us bring everything. We're doing a gang of new stuff, and we keep on rolling it out, playing with it, and it gives you access to our Discord. Look at these beautiful people hanging out in there. That's where we're at the other 6 days of the week. And I do like to point out, we're actually in our Discord, because I back up people on Patreon. I'm not naming names, and they're never in their Discord.
Oh, yes,
you can
I know.
clearly
Ghost
go
Town.
scroll up, and you can watch me arguing with the developer of Lutris about Desk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Admittedly, I started that.
Pedro started it.
It's like, I need desk recommendations because I'm moving and I need a nice desk. And Strider and Ven just went at it.
It's kind of a thing we do. That's how we show our love to each other. But you do get a custom RSS feed that you can drop in any podcast player. You can come hang out in our pre super shows, and that's an extra podcast we do just for patrons, and because you are our bosses, and we like to keep you informed on what's going on behind the scenes. We even do that live. If you're in Discord, you can click on what is it? Creep Chosen on Saturdays when we do that at 8:30, an hour early. So come in, participate. Share your ideas. You have what do you guys got coming up tomorrow, Jill? Some D&D or something?
Yeah. So we're going to be playing the Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Crawler RPG starting tomorrow. We're going to have a long campaign on with Jordan and the Canadian stream. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Canadian stream. You geo it. It's all North America, man. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Time for stuff.
Wait.
Yeah. We have an executive producer today.
Yeah. Jill, who was it this week?
This is Drummer 7 in his Discord and chat. Thank you.
Latest executive
producer.
Yeah, man. Dropped in. It's already in Discord, meeting everyone.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
That is.
Oh, yes.
You would call everyone in our Discord eccentric if we were rich, but we're not.
Yeah.
So we're just crazy.
Just crazy, but the good kind of crazy, you know?
Aww.
And that's really cool. That's always
that's
good to
awesome.
get people hitting us up like that. Now we
can get some pie.
Now we're off to the pie.
See, that's another reason that I need a laser cutter. I'm really trying to justify that.
Ah, yes.
To cut pie. Yes. Check it out, Rogue Pie. We did it, Reddit. Reddit helps admin solve mystery of a rogue Raspberry Pi at a university. Yes. He was digging around a network closet, and one thing you really don't want to see is an undocumented piece of hardware like a Raspberry Pi just plugged in with a Bluetooth adapter, and you're like, what's going on here, Brad? So you do the natural thing and go to Reddit and be like, hey man, why do I have a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth adapter hooked up to a Pi? Can we track it down? And, well, they went through the process. They identified what it was and what the hardware was hooked up to it. And of course, Reddit's going to Reddit. They had theories. Perhaps it was a pin testing by the red team, or a sophisticated attempt to gain backdoor access with the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi traffic, or let's see. Oh, right. It could have been like maybe possibly an outside security company plugging that in there.
Like a red team actually doing some pen testing. Yeah.
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 But no. Still not 100% sure what this is doing, but the reason this is there, which perplexes me right now, even as I say the magic words, a former employee who still has access to that room, has a key to it, which means this dude has some dirt on management.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
do you say that then? Because management knows and allow it.
Yeah.
No, management, no, and they let him keep the key, and apparently he was the one who put the Raspberry Pi there. So, yeah.
And this is why I think the dude's got some dirt, because you don't do something that obvious.
Yeah, unless you're really sure.
It's like, you can't get rid of me.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I saw that. And pick your brain a minute, because I was thinking, like, when I notice somebody messing with the hardware in, a server environment or anything like that, fortunately, I don't deal with that day to day anymore. But my first instinct, maybe it's yours, is not to stop them. I don't want to put an end to it. I want to mess with them.
Yes.
I don't want them to know I know, but I want to make their life difficult in ways that amuse me, because let's face it, I'm a horrible person. It could be to something. It could. Good example. When I first got this place, no one had Wi-Fi. I mean, like I walked around with my mobile, and a bunch of old people live here. And I'm not being ageist. I'm just being, come on, be honest here. And nothing. I mean, nothing. So I was like, okay, fine. I didn't even notice, like, the Moon device that my Uverse came through had Wi-Fi on it, but it had one of those, push-enabled Wi-Fi. So I was like, all right, whatever. Didn't pay any attention to it. And I was upstairs doing something on the computer, and I noticed a light blinking that I'd never seen on it. And I was like, well, what's going on here? What's going on here? There's a point to this. Stick with me. And so, you get down and you look, and you're like, oh, Wi-Fi. Huh. So I log into it, and I was like, oh, I guess it had guest Wi-Fi on. Who is doing this? And I lean back to think, do this, right? Through the window, and our houses are nowhere near each other, but I could see him. He happened to be on a bed with a laptop. He'd gotten as close as he could. It's like, okay. So I probably spent the better part of 45 minutes enabling and disabling randomly.
Yes. We've all had fun war driving at one time or another.
See, I had the router that my landlord at university had.
Wait a minute. All right. We've gotten you saying router, but you won't throw down on aluminium.
it kind of slipped out because at work I have to say router because a router is what you use to.
Peer pressure.
Never mind. But yeah, it's our router actually allowed to have a guest network, which you could set specific rules for. And one of the options that they gave you was to say, replace pictures with a lower resolution one, or have your own pool of pictures, like say you pointed it at a specific server at around a certain time that a certain script was being floated around the internet that replaced all of the JPEGs and PNGs with pictures of cats. So yeah, if you were anywhere near my place of residence in university, you could have free internet, but all of the JPEGs and all of the PNGs were pictures of cats.
And he's never taken that setting off to this day.
I don't know if that network is still up. So it may very well still be a thing.
Now, I've seen some like delightfully malicious things set up with a proxy, but flipping the images upside down, among other things. But this guy, that's too ballsy to worry about getting in trouble in the first place.
Yes.
Like, I do what I want.
It's like, you're accessing my network at this point, so bye.
Yeah, keep that in mind if you're at this particular university. That'll be in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Jill, do you do anything to like mess with people nefariously? I mean, do you derive joy from this?
No. Well, I've done a little bit in the past, yes, but not now.
I mean, can you not tell us about it due to statute of limitations? You don't want to get in legal trouble?
Yeah, that hasn't expired yet.
Yeah.
It was like last week.
Man, I got some tales to tell you kids in like 6 years, man.
Yeah. Most of mine was done on the days of elite BBS of yore.
Elite BBSs, not regular BBSs. No.
Yes. Elite.
These had stickers on them that said elite that made them better. Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe you have a really fun story about legally-ish gray area messing with people, and you want to tell us about it. We'd love to read it, Pedro.
Oh, yes. Yes, we would. And the best way to relay it to us is to go to escapecast.com. You hit the contact button. Make sure to pick Lwdw from the little choosy box and fill out the form as requested. Once you're done with typing down your story, Google may or may not ask you to train their AI, but more often than not, it's just a little click that you have to do to prove that you're not a robot. Once that's got a little tick on it, just hit the send button and we will feature your story right here, right now.
Allegedly, unless it's really weak.
No, Zoe, last week, apparently, we were taking a big old poo-poo on the Unity desktop. Rightly so, in my opinion. But she wrote in and says, I was witness to the Unity desktop hate of Lwdw 145, and I must say that I personally still use the Unity 7.5.0 desktop, which is in the Ubuntu 1804 repo every day on all of my machines. I feel for you. It still works perfectly, bar a few settings. There we go. There's the qualifier. For bar a few settings menus for settings I've already configured using gsettings commands, and a few tray icons not showing up without an environment variable behind apps that try to show one. I personally believe Unity is the Linux desktop. Has ever had, and I will continue to use it until the sad day on which it stops working.
Aww.
Thoughts?
Aww.
Pedro, do you know De Desktop?
The desktop. I know it was the Zoe. It is just, after Ven's comment about the way earlier. Yeah.
That's the old thing, man. I'll throw this logic out, Zoe. You change distros as much as you change desktops. So I don't even think Jill would back you up on this one. This is a good shot, but nobody's buying it.
Yeah, no.
Oh, well, thank you to Zoe, one of our patrons in chat, for this, of course. And I'm happy you wrote in. And actually, Unity performance is much better these days, but had a history of, well, nope. So it used to be so slow and sluggish, and I didn't have, an application menu or menu bar, and it just drove me up the wall. so and I don't have a desktop manager that doesn't have an application menu. I have to have an application menu on every desktop that I use. That's just, I've been using Linux and since the beginning, and Unix before that, with the days of CDE and TWM. So I like to have
a roundabout way of saying we're old and set in our ways.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. When Unity was first introduced in the Ubuntu 10.10 netbook edition, remember that one, kids? It was the perfect poop storm, as it were, because it's a new desktop that's geared towards computers with a smaller resolution.
It was frighteningly close to being geared towards toasters. It dodged that.
Yeah. It's like, they have really tiny screens with really low resolution. They have single-core 32-bit Atom processors, 1, sometimes 2 gigabytes of RAM, and we're going to shove the single most demanding desktop environment ever created on Linux. Yeah. It made KDE look slim by comparison.
Yes.
And we're just going to shove that on netbooks. That was a brilliant decision. That didn't burn any people at all. They're canonical.
Yes.
He had one sentence in the notes, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That was just the thing to remind me of what I needed to say.
One cannot restrain Pedro's unabashed hatred for a desktop manager. I don't know.
Hey, I'm kind of losing that hate for GNOME because I have been using GNOME on the ThinkPad, and version 320, I don't hate it. 328, sorry, I don't hate it.
Yeah. It's running much better.
I don't have any hatred. I remember, that's not the story. I remember getting Unity up and running on Fedora, all right?
Yeah.
I built it. This was way before it was released in any, because it's like, they didn't sell me on anything. The curiosity got a hold of me. They're like, we're rethinking the way, it was basically a shell all the time. It's like, okay, I got to try some of this. We got it up and running. It wasn't like I invented the way, I just followed a guide of somebody else who had spent the time of getting it up and running. Tried it out, and I was like, yeah, this is rubbish. But immediately I was like, this might make sense on a touch interface. Later, much later, and it was much more developed, I had a chance to try it on touch. Still didn't make any sense. But I will always say you have to give Canonical credit for trying.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, they tried. And we saw just how high that particular brand of confidence was when an IPO became a possibility.
Can't help himself. He's like a cat. He's like, nah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, well, they got to keep rolling with what they got, and they want the GNOME to. There are people out there. It's like, no, Unity forever. You're never going to please everyone.
Yeah. No,
Nope.
you never will. And the beauty of Linux is that you can use whatever desktop manager works for you. I'm still using the ancient Window Maker and Fluxbox and XFCE because I like to right-click on my desktop and get my menu.
I have Mate.
Yeah. Mate is awesome.
You can use what you want, unless it's different from what somebody else is using. Then you're wrong. Then all of your other opinions on everything else is wrong too. And that person will change what they're using in 6 months. The internet didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to bounce out of here. I want to thank everyone for showing up, joining us live, or listening to us after the fact. And you're wondering, how can I do that? We're on YouTube. You can, we have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, we do. It's got 2.3 thousand subscribers for some reason.
That's a lot of misclicks.
That's awesome.
You can click the ringy bell. We are working on, we're about to find out whether or not Jordan's listening, on simulcasting to YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, and Twitch. Yay. That'll be nice to go back to Twitch because that's where LGC started on.
I was going to say, no, it wasn't.
Well, the LGC podcast streams.
Nope.
Streams. Yeah.
Justin TV. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. Justin. Yeah, that's right. Oh my God.
It predates Twitch, basically.
Yeah, I remember.
And who else is streaming their Linux shows on this? What?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna do some credits. You've been awesome. We'll be back next week as soon as I can find the right thing. Is that it? There it is.
All right.
There's noise.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben Stone. Thank you, Pedro Mateus.
Bah humbug.
And thank you very much, Joe.
Aww. And we got our original credits back. And thank you to our wonderful executive producers.
These are handmade.
Including Drummer 7. Thank you again. And thank you to all our wonderful producers. We got many of them out there, including me and my husband.
Yeah, you guys
That's how we
basically bought
started.
your way into the show, so you can have it.
Aww. LWW 145. That's just amazing. Yay. Bye, chat room. We love you.
Bye. Bloop.
Done and done.
Oh, I messed up.
Oh, you're still thinking about it? Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Seriously. Oh, hey, Artifact is out. Okay. How much is that in Imperial's compounds?
16
Yes, thank
bucks.
you, Patrick.
Yeah, £15.99.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's that's
Also, with Brexit, I think it was a good idea to dump my.
Yeah, no, I'm just glad I keep sending some money every now and then to my Portuguese bank account. It's like, yeah, let's just keep that there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Wrong number on the LWW as well. I was thinking about that when I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. See, Katana, I didn't get to see Ven's credits before the show, so I couldn't have corrected them earlier. Like I.
All right, give me a second. I need a refill.
See, me personally, if I had eaten as much shit as Jill did during an episode, I wouldn't be talking to anybody about anything. I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
No.
So you got to admire that trait in Jill.
Yeah.
Still spitting mad fire.
All right.
All right. I think everything's saved.
Thank you, Arthur. We love you, Arthur. Yeah, I like the 2 stories we covered. That was awesome. Yeah, I love the Albania story. That was awesome.
A big thanks to Massive Oni, who sent me a Steam gift in the middle of the show.
All right.
Oh, how nice! Oh, thank you, Massive Oni.
Yeah.
And Dirty
Pixel
Dean,
Dungeon.
great. Pixel Dungeon? Oh, that
Yeah.
was... Thank you, Massive Oni. That's awesome. And yay, there's Dirty Dean in our live stream. Awesome.
Where's your name in the credits? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, your name is probably there. If you have Discord access, your name is most likely there.
Do. Aww. Hello, Dirty Dean. Yeah.
Let's see. I can investigate
Is
this
he?
right here.
Yeah. Did his name not come?
Well, and it depends on whether or not it's Dirty Dean and Patreon.
Oh, okay.
yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that, Oni. That's been on my wish list for a bit. Just because it's a roguelike. That's my jam.
That was a nice holiday gift, Massivoni, and a kind of a housewarming gift as well for his new place.
Whoop, all right. I didn't put enough two-factor digits in there.
Yes, Virgin, I know you want me to give you a survey reply, but I haven't even tried your services yet. What do you want me to say? Ding, 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 ding.
Ah, good memories from childhood. That definitely. Seeing those shows live was awesome. 70s and 80s, the originals, and getting to see
I
the new
remember
ones.
the first Eccleston series, well, the only Eccleston series as a doctor, was it actually aired on Portuguese TV. It's like,
Nice.
what's this? Is it? Oh, this is a bit low budget, but I like it. Okay.
Oh, good.
Cool.
That's when you discovered it. Awesome. Yeah,
And then,
I got to see.
of course, I went to the internet. It's like Doctor Who. Oh, this has been going on since the 50s.
Yeah. I got to see it on a public broadcasting system. They'd always run them on Saturday mornings, and they'd often run like 5 or 6 episodes in a row with the different doctors. The biggest complaint is sometimes they didn't show them in order, and that was always a pain. so
Yeah.
now as an adult, I've gone back and watched them all in the correct order.
Yeah, no, I
still
hope so
love
too,
the-
Katana. I hope so too.
Me too.
Like 37 pounds a month for 200 down and
Nice.
12 up. Because, you know, F you.
Yeah, that's God, and there's no reason for them to throttle that. It's so freaking ridiculous. There's no reason for that.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the upload throttling.
For DocSys? Yes, there's absolutely a good reason for it. Node can't handle it. It's the way it splits out. It's
Well,
not Node.
they can go high-
DocSys
yeah.
3 and 3.1 are not symmetrical. You're only dealing with like 2 to 2.5 gigabits
Yeah.
for the upload for an entire node, which can usually be about 120 to 180 users per node. So no, you can't.
Yeah.
You.
Well, no, you can't, but it can be more than 10%.
It depends on your available
and,
bandwidth. It could be 10%, and
yeah.
everybody have shit speeds because it's shared bandwidth.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Yeah, I've been told by a admin that they can, bring it up higher.
oh, they
just choose
can,
not to,
but
because most people
not for
don't need
multiple
it.
people. I'm saying the node itself
Yeah.
doesn't have that much bandwidth. On
Yeah,
the upstream,
that's why
no. When you go for a duplex, you could probably do it, but with the existing infrastructure, it's not feasible to do. So yes, there
Yeah.
are very good logical, technical reasons as to why the upload's crap. And I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
arguing that.
But but I have a business account, and the business accounts, they should be, allowing us more
it would.
access.
What I'm saying, Jill, is it would fuck everybody in your neighborhood up.
It already does, because whenever the techs have already said, whatever I'm using, I get first. I'm priority. So
Well, they got you set with the same
Yeah.
QoS,
yeah,
mostly for business, especially with cable. That's what you're paying for.
yeah,
No block. Well, sometimes they'll give you no block ports.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, when it came to Portuguese ISPs, you could just, if you wanted to pay an extra 70 euros a month, you could just have symmetrical whatever speed you wanted. It's like, oh yeah, you could just have that if you pay us extra. Just bribe us, and you can have it.
I got into a lot of that when I really came close to
Yeah.
launching my own wireless ISP. I did a lot of research, especially into DocSys deployment, buying fiber off the cable company to do that.
Yeah.
I learned a few things. Yeah, Dirty Dean. For some reason, my little scripty missed you. So I will add that to it right now. How about that?
It will be fixed in post, Dirty Dean.
But don't lie to the boy.
I mean, it also says LWDW 145, so...
Yeah.
And you forget, I am completely devoid of severe crippling OCD. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
At least we'll have more comments for next week.
I spent a good 45 minutes rebuilding that entire generator from hand. And I have it all templated out, and it now functions as a KD and live template. It's like, numbers wrong. It's like, you know what? Die in a fire. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. Like, even Charter's starting to do fiber deployments, which is interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm just really happy that it's Virgin, because it's the one ISP around here that does fiber to the premises.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like, oh yeah, you want fiber to the premises? You gotta have Virgin. Yeah.
Let's see, where's a good link to...
And, like contrasts, Vodafone is an awesome ISP in Portugal. Over here, it's one of the worst. It's like, oh, we can't have any of our infrastructure? Okay, here's a crap package, give us money.
Yeah, a lot of places are fiber to the node.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, no, right here, I have fiber to the cabinet over there. And then it's VDSL until the splitter over there outside, and then it's a RJ12 phone line coming into the router.
I still can't believe they... Oh, RJ12. That...
Yeah.
I think the... Is there a permalink to just that? Anybody wants to do a little reading on Doxis right there, the second post by Doc Drew. If you've ever been on DSL reports, you've known him for the past couple of decades. He does a good job breaking down how Doxis 3.0 works. But let's see. Need to grab something to drink. You got any parties going on tonight, Jill?
No.
Why not? It's a good night for a party.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite night here yet, but no.
I was about to say it's not night here yet, but geez, what time is it? 4, almost 5. It's probably night here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, in a couple hours it will be. Around 3 o'clock, sun starts going down.
Yeah, it's been nighttime here for the past 5 hours.
5 hours. It's like 5 p.m. Between 5 p.m. and whenever I look away from a window and look back, I'm like, all right, fine. I didn't want sunlight in the first place, but still, geez.
Yeah, no, the dead of winter here is really, it's like, oh, it's 8:30, the sun's finally coming up. Oh, what's that? It's 3:30? Yeah, it's already dark. I need my vitamin D, man.
I'll tell you right now, that's a load of bunk. If humans...
Hey, I never broke a bone in my life, so I'm gonna keep riding that vitamin D train.
Outside of velocity-induced physical trauma, I haven't either.
Oh,
6 o'clock in the morning. Oof. I say oof. I'm dicking around the house kind of bored at 6 in the morning. Back from the run. Skin cancer. That must have been that much time. That's why I carry a parasol with me.
Yeah, no, that's why it's nice to have the sun, but you hide from it.
I don't
You just
hide
get a little
from
bit
it.
of you
You
get a
just
little bit of
avoid it.
UV every now and then. It's like, okay, the vitamin D is active now. That's cool. It's doing the calcium stuff. That's cool.
Well, I look at it this way: from here in the studio, which all the windows have been insulated and soundproofed, like legitimately now with the Soundcore stuff, but I can see light, so therefore photons are hitting me. Just not a lot.
All right, see you, Arthurian.
Yeah,
Bye, Arthurian.
don't sleep too hard.
Thanks for joining us live, as always.
And thanks for the links.
Yes, awesome.
Major, are you going to go play Artifact?
I might. I actually might, yes. It's like,
Steve
oh,
has
it's
been
on
just
now.
noticing.
I'll see what those 16 pounds get me.
Gambling addiction?
I mean, that's not far off. I did have a bit of an issue with Magic the Gathering, so...
Come on, Nori. We don't really need to eat tonight. Eat up this pack of cards. Then I'll win.
Valve is sending very strongly worded letters to people trading their goods for actual money, so can't have that.
What are you talking about, Steve? Joe rearranges those penguins weekly.
No, not from last week though. But he didn't pay attention last week. But that was what was so cool. Is I moved my Zalries and Penguin got moved there last week, and then we did a
You're gonna
story.
let that slide, Steve?
Calling you out.
Is that a hill you want to die on? Don't worry. He didn't hear me. He wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, no, I did have Jill. You did give me a little bit of a brain whiplash this week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's just. Wait a second. What? Germany?
Yeah, I know.
Where does Germany come? What? What did I miss? Oh, it's the
Oh, God,
next.
so
Okay,
embarrassing.
right. Okay, cool.
Have you ever done that, Pedro? Hopefully you have, and I can say
Yes,
that.
yes, I have.
Thank
Linux
you.
Gamecast Weekly. Yes, I have.
Yes. I one time saw Jordan do it, so
Yeah. I don't remember Ven doing it, but yeah, both me and Jordan have done it before.
I
So.
don't understand what it feels like to be flawed.
Hey, man. Not everyone can be, grown out of a vet of questionable
Out of a vet?
political organization.
You're going to have to show me the way to the vet, Pedro.
Vat.
that
That's right
The
next
vampire.
to
Ven means vampire.
the rooter. Oh, man. Anything else going on before we bounce out of here, kids?
No.
No, again, my life is all now in a bunch of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
Cathartic as it
busy.
is, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to pack everything else at some point.
Listen, I feel you from moving everything up here from the basement.
Yeah. Oh.
That was right at full clip, 13 hours nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're just getting everything into boxes, make it really easy. So when Dave shows up on Saturday, it's just a matter of there we go, it's full, done.
See, you got the added benefit. I was going to say you probably shouldn't be telling the internet that you have all of your belongings easily transportable in box up ready to go. That is like, nah,
Oh, poor
nobody's gonna
Pedro.
brave going in that neighborhood.
Oh, yes. I live in the shady part of town. Well, that won't be the case anymore. I will be living in the formerly shady part of town. Because,
It's been gentrified.
Yeah, it has.
You gonna try to take it down a run?
No, when I went to go see the place a couple of weeks ago, it was just like, oh, there's a bunch of hipsters around here. Went back to work because it was during lunch hour. I went back to work. It's like, oh yeah, no, Cherry Hinton used to be like one of the shady places in Cambridge. Not anymore.
Now it's up and coming, huh?
You should have straight up like Dr. Who'd him if you'd saw some hipsters. I would have stopped like, hipsters, I love hipsters, and ran up and gave him a mug.
Yeah, Rohit, that's good. Oh.
Nah, that's cool. I mean, it's a nice place. And
Yeah.
then Pedro can walk
Yeah.
to work.
It's a bigger place. It's so much closer to work. It's
that must be closer to the university, I'm imagining too.
It's actually for Nori. It'll take her the exact same time to get to university as it does from here.
Oh, okay.
So from her, like the distance is basically the same.
Same.
It's just for me, it's a big difference. And of course, the place. It's got a proper living room, a proper kitchen.
Yes, you have a
proper
hallway,
bedroom.
a Doctor Who hallway.
It's like, we have a nice little hallway going from, like the entrance hall to the living room. It's like, ooh, how fancy.
See, on that bombshell, I mean, no matter how bad you think life is going, how low you feel, remember, there are people who get excited about hallways, so you got it pretty good.
Aw.
I am your underdog. Sniff my bottom while you're at it.
Aw.
I, for one, am quite happy of your new hallway. I will send you things to decorate it with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will have pictures. I will take pictures with the DSLR that Mir sent me.
Awesome.
Super sweet. We're gonna
I
bounce out of
can't
here.
wait to see.
I gotta make
Yeah.
a show.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I get
Apparently correct, man. If I go, here's the problem. If I go into the credits to actually fix them, I'm not going to fix them correctly. I hope you realize that.
I think everyone expects that.
I don't know. There's some people who's like, it needs to be sorted. I'm going to have to watch it after it's published and check the credits. You're out there. You're sitting there going, fuck. All right. You got me on that.
Damn it.
All right, beautiful people. We will see you tomorrow for some Dungeons and Dragons, which means I will be nowhere near the stream. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, chat room. Love you.